Guys, please, you can respond in chat. There will be chat option. Join yesterday. Okay. I want response from everyone.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, ma'am, actually, I work as a Java developer. I'm having like some around 7 years of experience. But
Okay.
right now, I want to make a career transition into data engineering field. I mean,
Okay.
big data analytics and etc. So one of my friends suggested me to learn SQL first. So I mean, I
Right.
know SQL a bit as a Java
Okay.
developer, but not that much. So, ma'am,
Right.
whatever you will teach this session, I mean, these classes, all
Mm-hmm.
would be sufficient for going to, I mean, for going for data engineering batch, right?
Correct, correct. Actually, basically, I'm a data analyst. I have experience in data science subjects only. I teach SQL, Tableau, Python, Power BI, statistics, and machine learning concepts. So whatever SQL concepts I will teach, all the that will be enough to become a data analyst. And according and apart from data science, if there is any fresher, also, this concepts will be enough. And even for Java developer, with respect to all the domains, I design the course content. But especially with respect to the data analytics, the explanation or the topics will be there. Actually, they're all concepts are common in every domain. The SQL concepts, whatever I'm going to teach, each concept will cover all the domains. But specifically for data analyst, there is one concept called as regular expressions that is not required for any Java side or for full stack development side like that. But regular expressions is needed to become a data analyst. That topic also I will cover in this course. Okay, don't worry about that. At the end of this class, I will show the course content for you as well. Okay. So all right. So yesterday we started our demo and I explained about what is database and what is SQL. And I also explained about, if we store the data like this. I think you can see my screen in this in the Excel file. I stored the data like this, right? If we store the data like this, what is the limitations of Excel and why we need databases we are discussing. Yesterday, I covered 3 points. And let me just quickly revise that 3 points and let's continue this, okay? And I will quickly finish this concept. And in today's class, let's see the user interface of MySQL and let's start creating some tables, okay? And guys, please, let's keep this session very interactive. If you guys have any doubt, you can just ask me at any time. You can unmute yourself and ask, or else you can even type in the chat box. Okay.
Divya, I have one question. Can I ask you now
Yes,
or at the
please.
end of this session?
Go ahead.
This Saturday will be there'll be sessions or it will be off these
It
sessions.
depends actually. It depends on the students.
Sunday it will be no,
Generally,
right?
Sunday will be holiday. There won't be classes. And Saturday, basically, for some batches, I will take, and for some batches, it depends on the students. If students don't want, I won't take on Saturdays. Without taking Saturdays and Sundays also, we can finish the course in 40 days.
Okay. And there is anything like you also take a complete course like data analyst because one by one we have to go otherwise.
For now, we are not taking the complete data analyst course. Actually, if we take the complete course also, first we will teach SQL for the for the first 40 days, and then we will start teaching any visualization tool like that. So instead of taking the complete course, we are taking separate courses. I started teaching SQL from yesterday as well as Tableau also. Yesterday only I started a new batch. Going forward also, if you want to listen parallelly, you can attend that batch if anyone needs Tableau. Or else, if anyone think like, after listening to the SQL, then only I will start Tableau in the sense also. Going forward, we will get another new batches also with the Durgasoft. You can join at that time if you want to learn Tableau.
Okay.
And
And you're
to
not.
become a data analyst, right?
Mm-hmm.
To become a data
And
analyst, SQL, and you should have the sound knowledge on SQL is must, and along with the SQL, you should know you should have knowledge on any one of the visualization tool. It may be Tableau or Power BI. It's your choice. And if you have knowledge on this both subjects, like either SQL and Tableau, you can join as a data analyst along with these two subjects. If you learn Python, it will be an added advantage for you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Most of the
And
institutes, or generally we will get to see, like they will add all the subjects in the in the course. But as a data analyst, I have about 7.6 years of experience in the data analyst. So I can tell you with, or I can suggest you with that experience, no need of learning all the subjects all together, like advanced Excel. Many institutes, what they are doing, they are including all the subjects like advanced Excel, SQL, Python, Power BI, or any Power BI or Tableau. And if you want to step into data science, they will include statistics and machine learning as well. But learning all the things at a time, it is not suggestible. First, learn SQL very perfectly, then learn any one visualization tool if you are a fresher, or if you are already having experience in any other domain, or even non-IT also. Uh,
Mhm.
After learning these two subjects, just try applying for the jobs,
Okay.
because 60% of the companies are, you can see the job description, they will ask for only SQL and any BI tool. They will just mention like Python will be the good to have good to have skill kind of thing. If you learn Python, that will be great. Or else also you can, with this with the knowledge of these two subjects, you can enter as a data analyst, and eventually you can learn Python. Some companies will train you on Python, or else parallelly at the at outside also you can learn Python.
And what about statistics and max? That
Statistics,
cover. Yeah.
data analyst, no need of learning statistics. If you want to
Okay.
become a data scientist, then it comes, the statistics and machine learning will comes into the picture.
But ma'am,
Okay.
for
I
data
will go.
engineering, these are not needed, right? Stats and maths.
No, for data engineering, actually, yesterday I clearly explained about the life cycle of data science. What is the exact process going will be happen at the back end in the complete data science field, and what roles are there inside the data science, and what subjects we need to learn to do that roles. Okay, just watch yesterday's demo if possible. I guess this from Durgasoft, you might have already got mails. Just watch that demo. You will get the complete picture. In short, if you want me to tell, there are data engineer role, there is data analyst role, data scientist, machine learning scientists, and machine learning researchers. Okay, for data engineers and data analysts, no need of learning statistics, machine learning, or any other advanced concepts. Just SQL, any visualization tool, either Tableau or Power BI, upon your choice, and Python. And if you are choosing for data engineers role, you need to learn any cloud concept also, like AWS or anything like that.
Thank you,
Okay, and
Divya.
ma'am,
Thank you so much.
PySpark and all those are also needed for data engineering course, right?
Yeah,
What I
for data
heard.
engineering, it is needed. Data analyst not required.
Okay, ma'am, which one has more demand now?
Uh, PySpark, of course.
No, no, I mean in data analysis, data analyst or data engineering or data science.
It's not like that. Completely data science is has having huge demand, and without data engineers, data analysts, there is no data science. All of these courses will work together. Okay, that's the reason. Just watch yesterday's video. I explained it very clearly. Then you can get the idea. Okay, I mean,
Sure, ma'am, sure.
each and every role is having the equal importance. Without data engineers, there is no data analysts. Without data analysts, there is no data scientists. Okay.
Okay, understood. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
All right.
much, Divya.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Smita. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's get started. Let's start today's concept. So yesterday I said, what is I said only basics yesterday. First, I said the complete life cycle of data science, because most of the, if I'm not wrong, did I cover yesterday life cycle of data science in SQL? No, right? I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm talking about the Tableau class. In this class, I didn't cover the life cycle of data science. Sorry, guys. Sweta, and one more. Okay, I got confused. Yesterday only, we started one Tableau batch with DurgaSoft. In that class, I explained the life cycle of data science, not in SQL class. Sorry, I got confused. Whatever it is, as I said, in data science, without any role, there is no another role. Like data engineers, data analysts, and data scientists are, related to each other. First, data engineers will collect the data, they will do the cleaning of the data, and then they will send that data to the data analysts. Data analysts will create some visualization reports, they will analyze the data, and once the analyzations are done, those reports they will send it to the data scientist team. Basically, the process will be like this. Okay, sorry guys, I just got confused. In yesterday's SQL class, I didn't cover this. Okay, but I hope you got my answer right, the guys which you have asked me previously about data engineering.
Yes, ma'am, I understood.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So yesterday I explained about what is database and what is SQL, right? Basically, database is nothing but the collection of data, right? And SQL is nothing but it is a language which we will use to communicate with the databases. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 1 second. So we are talking about the limitations of Excel. As you can see in my screen, this is an Excel file and I have some data like this, right? Yesterday I covered few points here. I said this is my data. Suppose, let's imagine this is the data of e-commerce website. We have order ID, order date, customer ID, customer name, address, product ID, product name, price, supplier ID, supplier name, and manufacturer name, right? So if I store the data like this in Excel, if we need to store the data, we will store like this only basically, right? But what is the limitations of the Excel in the sense? The first point we discussed yesterday is data limit, right? In Excel, we can store up to 1 million rows only. But in real time, we will deal with big data. There will be lots of data. We need to store lots of data. That's the reason we cannot use Excel in real time if we want to store the big data, right? And one more, and the second point is performance issue. Here you can see there are 9 rows only. But what if I have, just imagine I have 1,000 or 2,000 rows in my Excel file. It will take definitely some time to even load the Excel file, right? As the data increases, performance will be decreased. Performance got decreased, okay? The data size increased in the sense it will take some time to load the data. This is the second disadvantage of Excel. Okay. And the third one is data redundancy and wastage of memory. See, data redundancy in the sense, if you observe this data, this data, here what it is happening, I'm capturing the data again and again. If you observe the product name, I'm capturing smartphone again and again. If you observe the supplier name column, I'm capturing the same data again and again. And same goes with the manufacturer name as well, right? If we keep on entering the same data again and again, for example, let's take the example of Amazon or Flipkart. On daily basis, they will sell the same product. They will sell many times. Like they will sell only iPhone. They will sell maybe thousands of iPhones. They will sell every day. If they keep on storing iPhone for the 1,000 rows, it will be of no. It won't make any sense, right? It leads to the memory wastage kind of thing. Correct. So that's the reason whenever we are dealing with the real data, if we store the data like this, the data will be, we need to write the same data again and again. The data repetition is happening very frequently. See here, Samsung, I wrote Samsung many times. Here we have only 9 rows, right? What if I have 1,000 rows? I may write like this, Samsung maybe 100 times, 200 times like that, right? So this is also one of the disadvantage of Excel. So instead of storing like this, if I store the data, if I divide this data into parts, how it look like? See, instead of storing like this, suppose if I store the customer details table, customer details data in separate table, I can write like this, right? This is customer details table. I just copied this data from here. Yesterday I did this, right? I just copied this customer data and I pasted here, correct? And I copied products data from here, product ID, product name, and price of the product. And I created a separate table called as product table. In the same way, I created one more table like suppliers table, supplier details table, and I copied the supplier ID, supplier name, and manufacturer name at the bottom, correct? So here, if I divide this data like this, no need of storing customer name and address here again, right? I can remove this data, correct? I can remove this product name and price here. I can remove the supplier name and manufacturer name here. Because I stored the data separately. I stored separately customer details at one place, products table at one place, and supplier details at one place, right? If I store like this, now please observe. See, here I can say I have order ID 2 and customer ID C2. If you observe, there is some common data between these two tables. Now this is my base table. This is my second table, third table, and fourth table. So if I store the data like this also, I can get all my answers. If I want to know what is the customer name of my order ID 3, then also I can understand, because here the order ID is 3, customer ID is C3. I can go to customers table and see what is the customer name of C3. And the answer is Nick, right? We can relate the data. If I store the data like this also, we can relate all the answers. But the thing is that we should have some common column between them. That's the reason I kept customer ID in this table as well as this table. Here product ID, supplier ID, supplier ID, so that I can relate all my answers. And if you observe here, in supplier ID, I'm not repeating the data. I just wrote S1 and S2. Here, Om Traders, AM Traders, Samsung, and OnePlus. I'm not repeating the data again and again because we have only two suppliers, S1 and S2, right? In this way, if I store the data in this way, this data redundancy problem will be, it will overcome. Data redundancy is nothing but repetition of the data. We are not repeating the data here much. For some columns, it will repeat, but mostly here, see, we are not repeating in these 3 columns now. I just wrote only one time, right? You got my point? As data repetition is, as we don't repeat the data here, memory will also wastage of memory is also not done here, right? So basically, in Excel, we won't save the data. We won't write the data like this. Correct? In databases only, we will do this. In databases, what we will do? We will divide the bigger data into smaller tables. Right? I will create one table called as customer details with this data. I will create products table with this data, supplier details with this data. If we want to store the data like this, it can be done only by using databases. In databases only, we will store separate tables, but we should make sure that there should be common column with the base table so that we can relate our data. And that's the reason here with Excel, we have data redundancy and wastage of memory problem, which is overcoming, or which this problem is getting solved when we will use databases, right? Is this point clear for you? Everyone, please respond in chat.
Yes, madam.
Great. I want response from everyone, guys. You can just type S in chat. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Yes, madam. It's clear.
Ma'am, if you see the whole table, that time we'll understand that C9 supplier ID is S1. But if you see the segregated table which is in the below, that time will be, you will not able to understand, right? Yeah, for here, just scroll down. But here
Okay.
I don't know, like for C8, what exactly the supplier ID is. I don't know, right? Because we have written only S1 and S2.
Because we need to, every time we need to depend on the base table. Here
Okay,
you
okay,
want to
understood.
know the supplier ID of C8, right? Here, so we need to check with the base table. Here this C8 is the customer ID, S2 is the supplier ID. Again, we need to connect with the supplier table. S2 is AM Traders and the manufacturer name is OnePlus, right? Here,
Yeah,
actually,
understood.
as I wrote everything in Excel, it will be difficult for us to scroll down and check. But this kind of data we won't store like this in Excel. Basically, I wanted you to show how we will store the data in SQL. In SQL, we won't just scroll like we won't scroll and see the data, right? We will write all the queries. But basically, at the backend, we will store the data like this. I will create one table on customer details, product details separate table, supplier details separate table, and this base table separate table. According to my requirement, as you said, you want to know the customer ID, the supplier ID of C8. I will write a SQL query to display the supplier details of C8. But at the backend, the data will be stored like this. Okay. If we store the data like this, the data won't be repeated. I hope I cleared your doubt.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you're welcome. And let's see about the next point. 1 second. And the next biggest issue with the Excel is data consistency. What point I can say? Data consistency and data integrity. So what is data consistency and data integrity in the sense? For example, see, if I store the data like this, if I store the data like this, see, previously, before deleting all these rows, here I removed some rows and I copied that data at the bottom, right? But before I wrote the complete table, in this way only we will store the data in Excel, right? Suppose what happens, there is a price column here, right? See, instead of 40,000 here, if I write hi, it is allowing me to write. It is not throwing any error for me, correct? Instead of this P8, if I write something, it is allowing me to write. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what happens in Excel? We can write anything. It won't throw any error for us. It won't stop me entering any irrelevant data. Okay? Because, but this won't happen with the SQL. Because for each and every column in SQL, we will define the data types. What is data type? We will discuss, going forward. But we will define data types in SQL. So that data type, what it will do, instead of writing this number, if I write the hi like this, any character data, it will throw me an error. It will stop me entering irrelevant data. So this is also one of the, limitation of Excel. Data consistency. It won't stop me entering any relevant data in Excel. When coming to SQL or any database, when it comes to the database, if I try to enter any irrelevant data, it will throws me an error. Okay. What is data integrity in the sense? See. Here I have Here I have 8 columns of data, right? I have customer ID C1 to C8, correct? So that's what I pasted at the bottom. I have customer ID C1 to C8. Suppose if I am adding C9 here, not C9. If I am adding order 9 here and I am writing C9 here, I am writing some data randomly. Okay. So is this data correct now? I got one order and the customer ID is C9, sorry, the customer ID is C9. If you observe, we don't have that C9 data in customer details table, right? So without having C9 in this table, if I write C9 in base table, that will be wrong. Because without having the address of this C9 and the customer details of the C9, where do I deliver this product? It's not possible, right? First we need to enter the data in this table, then only we are supposed to enter the data in this table, or else we are supposed to enter the data in the base table if it exists in this customer table only, right? As we don't have customer C9 details in the customer C9 data in the customer details table, we are not supposed to enter the data here. You got my point? If I simply writing C9 here, where we will deliver that order, we don't have the customer name and customer address of C9, right? But Excel is not stopping me to enter the C9 data. It just allows me, whatever I write, it just allows me to write. Whether if I write any character data or whether if I write any irrelevant data. But when comes to SQL, if we write like this C9, it will throw us an error. It states first enter the C9 data in this table, then only you can able to enter the C9 here. Like this, like that, it will throws an errors for us. Okay, that is called as data integrity. Right, nothing but almost data consistency and integrity is same. It won't Excel won't allow Excel won't stop us to enter any irrelevant data, which is the major drawback. Because it's not if unknowingly also sometimes whenever we are dealing with big data or whenever we are storing, suppose I have 30 rows here, unknowingly whenever I'm accessing, suppose by mistakes I just removed this and something like that, if it is pressed also, it won't throws an error, right? It should throw an error if I enter any data mistakenly also, correct? So this is one of the biggest drawback with Excel. Okay. And so data limit is the first point, performance issue, data redundancy, wastage of memory, data consistency, and data integrity. And next limitation is accessibility of the data. Here, suppose if I have 1000 rows in Excel, to access any particular row of the data, I need to perform many filters here. I need to apply many filters, then only I can get the data. But this won't happen in SQL. If we have millions of rows also, we can, we can able to display the data very easily by using the SQL queries, right? So accessibility of the data is also a little bit tougher when comparing to the databases in Excel. So these are the limitations of Excel. And all these limitations we will overcome by using databases. Okay. And when we talk about this 5 limitations, this data redundancy and data consistency is the most important points. Data redundancy in the sense the data is repeating again and again whenever we are storing the data in Excel. Data consistency in the sense, tell me, data consistency in the sense, it won't allow me to Excel will allow me to enter any irrelevant data. It won't throw me an error. Basically, whenever we are dealing with the big data, our system should be such robust. It should throw an error whenever we are entering any irrelevant or wrong data, right? That is the basic requirement whenever we are dealing with the big data, which is not done by Excel. That's the reason we all need databases, right? So with this limitations of Excel, and all these limitations we will overcome by using databases. And this is the reason, this 5 points is the reason why we need databases. Am I clear so far? If you have any doubts, you can just ask me.
Clear.
Great.
Divya, I
Everyone,
was
guys.
not able to understand the data integrity. Can you please repeat briefly?
Sure. Data integrity is nothing but, see
Okay.
here. Suppose I have 8 rows here, okay? Order ID, customer ID, and product ID, right? And what I did, I just, for all the customer details, I created separate table, right? There is one table, customer details table. C1 and we have customer IDs starting from C1 to C8, right? C1, C2, C3,
Yes.
C5, C6, C7, and C8 are our customers. If suppose I write one new data, I have only 8 rows here. If I want to write a new data, or if I want to add a new row here, what I will do, I will give the order ID as 9. I will give some random order date, and I will, if suppose I write customer ID as C9 here, Excel is allowing me to write C9. But basically, we don't have C9 details in customer details table, right? We don't have C9 here. Without having C9, how can I generate order ID? When my order ID will be generated? Once I process the transaction only, order ID will be generated, right? Without having customer name and customer address, where I will deliver this order? I can't deliver, right? Definitely,
Yes.
I should have C9 customer ID in this customer details table first. Then only, suppose if I have C9 here, there is some random name here, and if I have some random address here, then this data is correct. Without having C9 details in customer details table, I cannot generate any order ID, because I cannot, where should I deliver that product without having customer details, right? Customer address. So Excel is here Excel, what it is doing, it is not stopping me to enter this order ID 9 and customer ID 9. When coming to SQL, what it happens if I try to insert a row with order ID 9 and customer ID C9, it will throw me an error stating, first enter the C9 details in customer details table. Then only you can able to enter the details here.
Okay.
Okay. That is the reason. In SQL, you will get the error, but Excel is not stopping us to enter.
Okay. Understood, Divya. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect. So this is the, we are done with this concept. Next, I will open MySQL and let's see the user interface of MySQL. Okay. Once our demo classes is finished, I will show you the installation process of MySQL Workbench. Okay. I will make everyone to install. In the class only, you can once the demo classes is done, please log in by using your laptop or desktop. We can download the MySQL Workbench in class itself. If you face any errors also, I can solve in the class itself. Okay. So immediately when I open my MySQL Workbench, we will get into this page. Okay. Here you can see something called as local instance MySQL, right? So we need to click on this one. Okay. This is the user interface of MySQL. Let me just remove this. Okay. Whenever you are opening, after installing the MySQL Workbench, whenever you are opening for the first time, you cannot see all these schemas. Okay. Basically, this is the page. Towards the left side, you can see the schemas here, right? These are all the databases names which I have created so far. In the starting, you can see only sys database here, because sys is the system generated database. This database is I have created. That's the reason I here basically under schemas, we can see the list of the databases which we have already created, right? So uh, here beside, I mean, below file option, we have menu bar here, right? Below menu, we have one plus SQL icon. If I click here, one editable page will come. Okay, this is basically a SQL file. This is the place where we need to write all the SQL queries. Okay. If you want to close, we can close from here. If you want to open here, and from file also, if we click on file, there is something called as new model. From there also we can open, or else directly we can see the icon here at the bottom of the file. If I click here, the page is opening for me.
Then could you please show me how did you close it?
Yeah, I just closed it here. Here in the file, there is a close cross symbol.
Yeah, this cross symbol. Okay.
Yeah. If we click that, it will get closed. To open, we can click here. Okay. Just a second, guys. I will share my entire screen.
Which version we are working with here?
It's 8.0. So see here, this is the file name, right? SQL file 5. Below that, we have some options here, right? Basically, the third option, this one, is the execute button. After writing any syntax, we will execute that statement, right, by clicking on this third icon. Clear? There is one third icon here, this one. If we click this, this is an execute button, okay? And this is the save button. We can understand this symbol. If we want to save this file after writing any SQL syntaxes or SQL statements, if we want to save this file, we need to click on this. And if we want to open any already existing file in our laptop, we need to click on this folder icon. Okay, and the first icon is a folder icon. Let me show you. If I just click on this folder icon, it will allow me to open any of this file like this. I can just open. Okay. Like this, we can open and we can access the files. And if after writing something, if we, one second, after writing something, if you want to save, we can click on the save option. And to execute the SQL queries, we need to click the third option here, right? For now, just remember these three things. Going forward, we will learn each and every concepts here, okay? And one more important thing, whenever after installing, whenever you open for the first time, mostly you will be in this administration page. Here, one second. Here you can see administration and schemas, right? Mostly you will be in the administration page. Don't get worried. Just you need to click on the schemas. Then you can able to see this one. Okay. Remember this thing. Guys, just give me 1 second. All right. Thank you, guys. So now let's see how we will create our first database. Okay. Actually, before creating database, let me tell you a few points. As we all know, SQL is a structured query language. We will use the SQL to communicate with the databases, right? And I guess it is visible for you, right? SQL is structured query language. And if you observe here, I'm using hash here. Here, hash in the sense comments. If we want to write any comments, we can use hash. Whatever we write inside the hash, that is non-executable. Okay. Basically, if you already, I guess you're already familiar about this comments option in any programming language, right? So in MySQL, we will use hash as comments. If you want to write any nodes or if you want to write anything, you can just use hash. Okay. And SQL is case insensitive. That means you can use either lowercase and uppercase. No problem. Okay. SQL is case insensitive. We can use either lowercase or uppercase. Okay. Now let's create a database. And before that, main important thing. See here, you can see I have 6 databases here, right? So in MySQL, what we need to do before we start writing any SQL statements, we need to activate any database. So that without activating database, if you write any SQL query and if you execute that, SQL will throw us an error because SQL won't understand in which database do it need to execute that query. Suppose I wrote select star from employee here. I will explain the select again, but just listen. If I write one statement and if I execute this one, it will throws me an error because SQL won't understand the employee table is in which database. So first we need to activate the database. Then only after activating any particular database, if we write any query, SQL will understand it should execute that SQL statements in that database. Okay. So first we need to activate the database.
Basically, you need to write use DB, right?
Right. We will activate the database by using use command. That is use
Madam, how to see
DB
that
name.
database are active or inactive?
Yes, that's what I will say now. So the syntax to activate the database is use DB name. Okay, here if you observe now, all my databases is in normal color, right? First, I will activate Divya database. There is one database named Divya, right? I will activate that. You can observe now the Divya is in light color. Once I executed this statement, it will get into bold. To execute, as I said, we need to click this. It got executed. You can see here, Divya database got into bold color, dark black, right?
Yes, yeah.
If so, by seeing like this, we can understand now this database is activated, and whatever SQL statements we will write here, that SQL statements will, it will be executed under this database only. Right, like that, whatever database we want to use, that database first we need to activate, then we need to start writing any SQL statements. Okay.
Well,
Now
no need
let's
to write give any semicolon here.
no need. Thanks for reminding me. Here, semicolon is option. Okay. Basically, in SQL Server, we need to write semicolon, right? In Oracle SQL also, we need to write semicolon. But in MySQL, semicolon is optional. If we won't write semicolon also, it will take. If we write semicolon also, it will work. That's optional. Okay.
And one more thing, ma'am, if you are writing
Mhm.
like 3 to 4 queries, basically you are selecting one query, then clicking on that
Right,
ignite button, right? Okay.
right. Correct. We need to select and we need to click on this. So let's create a database. I guess you're already familiar with the syntax of creating database. Create database, database name. Let's give this database name as DurgaSoft. Okay. So let me create database DB name is the syntax. Okay. Syntax for creating
Yeah, create database.
database. So here I'm giving the database name as DurgaSoft. Here you can observe I didn't give any semicolon. If we give semicolon also it works. So I'm executing this. One second, I'll just connect my charger. Sorry guys. All right. So I executed this statement. You can see at the bottom. In hurry, I just clicked 2 times. So first time it got created and second time it thrown me an error showing database exists. Basically, we can create only one, we can create the database with the same name only once. If we try to create once again, it will throw an error stating the database already exists, right? Now, DurgaSoft database is created. To see the database name here, what we need to do, besides schemas, there is a refresh button here. If you can see here, there is a refresh button. Schema and database difference, Rajesh. Okay, it's schema. The difference between schema and database is nothing. Database is basically the collection of data, right? All the tables we will, whatever tables we will create it after creating database, right? You can simply imagine like if in our laptop, if we want to store any photos, first we will create a folder and inside that folder, we will store all the images, right? In the same way, first we need to create the database and inside the database, we will create tables and inside the tables, we will insert the data. Okay. When coming to the schemas is nothing, but it will show the systematic representation or the collection of all the databases. Inside schemas, all the list of the databases will be present. That's it, Rajesh. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, but schema is the tables, no?
Not exactly. As I said, you can imagine like in our laptop, there is C drive, D drive kind of thing, right? Inside D drive, there will be one folder and inside the folder, we will store some images. In the same way, D drive will be the schema. Inside the D drive, if we save any folder, that folder will be the database name. And inside the database, the tables will be there. The tables will be the images kind of thing like that. We will store the data inside the database and basically schema will show us the list of database names. That's it.
Okay, man. Thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome. So to now, as I created DurgaSoft database, to see the database, we need to click this refresh button. Besides schema, there is a refresh button, right? If I click it, see, here I got DurgaSoft. Okay. Now I need to activate DurgaSoft database. So to activate that, what we will do, we will use command. I will simply write it as use DurgaSoft. Again, I will select this and I will execute this. See, now it got activated, right? You can see here. Here in this DurgaSoft, I used capital letter and here I used small letter. As I said, MySQL is in case insensitive. We can use in any way. Okay.
Yeah, lowercase or uppercase. Yeah.
Right. Now we created one database, right? This is how we will create a database. Create database and database name. After creating database, we need to activate the database. Okay. Now let's see how we will create the tables inside it. I guess I'm clear to everyone, guys. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. And one more important point here you need to remember, whenever we are giving the names, whenever we are creating databases or whenever we are giving names to the database, we should not use space here. Instead of Durgasoft, if we use space here, it won't accept. We are not supposed to use any space whenever we are naming any database. If required, we can use this underscore, but no spaces are allowed. Okay. And what next? Let's create.
Insert the columns.
Yeah. So now let's create one table. If you are familiar with the SQL, this starting concepts, maybe in 1-2 classes, you will be familiar with this one. Like I guess most of you know how to create the tables, how to insert the data. And again, someone will be new to the SQL, right? That's the reason I will explain each and everything very clearly. Okay. So now we need to create tables. First, we know we need to create the database. Inside the database, we will create the tables, right? Now let's see how we will create the tables.
Yeah, insert in a table.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no hurry, of course. I also believe the same. I will teach very slowly only. No worries. So yeah, here I will create. Let me. One second. All right. First, let's create one table. Before creating the table in MySQL, I will show you what I want to create in Excel. Okay. I will create a table called as employees table. Okay. And in the employees table, I want employee ID, employee name, and maybe date of joining and salary. Okay. I want employees will be my table name, employee ID, employee name, date of joining, and salary will be my column names, right? Basically, as I said yesterday, all the data inside the tables will be stored in the form of rows and columns, right? The vertical part is called as, the vertical thing is called as column and the horizontal one is called as row. I guess most of you know this already. So in this, inside the employees table, I need employee ID, employee name, date of joining and salary columns. And I will enter some random data here. Okay. Now let's see how we will create this table and how we will get this structure of the table in SQL. Okay. To do that, we need to write one syntax, that is create table. What is my table name? Employees, right? Employees is my table name. Here I need to mention the table name, and inside the table, what I am saying, I want columns as employee ID, employee name, date of joining and salary, right? So I want employee ID, comma, employee name, comma. I will explain. What is the third one? Date of joining and?
Date of joining, salary.
Yeah, date of joining
EOG.
and salary, right? These are my columns I need. Okay. So while explaining in Excel what I said here, if we store the data like this, what will be my data? Suppose employee ID is 1, employee name is Sam, date of joining is just imagine 12, maybe 2, 2023. Salary will be some 40,000, like that. So basically date of joining in the sense, it should be in the form of in date only, right? We should follow the date format only. But in Excel, if I enter instead of date, if I enter randomly any name, it is also allowing me to enter. But basically date of joining in the sense, I need only dates only. I don't want any other data, right? This one, how to do that in MySQL in the sense, to avoid this thing. See, in Excel, it is not avoiding me to enter. If I write Divya, it is allowing me to write, right? But in SQL, we need to create the table in such a way, if we write any irrelevant data, it should stop us to enter that irrelevant data. If I try to enter Divya in date of joining in Excel, it should throw me an error. This is the date of joining column. You need to enter only dates. You're not supposed to enter any data like this, like character data, right? For that, what we will do, we will use one concept called as data types, right? We will use something called as data types whenever we are defining, whenever we are creating the tables, and whenever we are defining the column names. For each and every column name, we will define a data type. Okay. So let's see how many data types are there. There are many data types, but basically in SQL, we will use this many data types. First one is numeric data type. Second one is character or string data type, date and time data type. I guess you can see my screen, right? You can see the image.
Yes, Divya.
Yes, Miss.
Okay. So, and the data and time data type, Boolean data type, binary and miscellaneous. We have these many data types in SQL, but mostly we will use this first three data types only. That is numeric, character, date and time data type. Inside the numeric data type, we have int and float. Okay. These are basically the data types. Int in the sense nothing but integers. If we are storing any numerical values, that is numbers, we will declare it as int data type, int. Okay. Int in the sense normal numbers, like this. But if we want to store decimal numbers like 1.2, 2.4, any decimal 4.5, like that, any decimal numbers, we will use float. Okay. Int is an data type. When we want to enter any numerical data, we will use this int data type. When we want to store this decimal numbers, we will use float data type. Okay. Int and float data types are the types of numerical data type. I guess I'm clear. Next, in the same way, we have character or string data type. Okay. In the character or string data type, we have again two types of data types which we will use more frequently. One is char and the another one is varchar. Okay. Basically, whenever we want to store any character data in the sense like this, any name, right? Any character data, whenever we want to store any character data, we will use this char or varchar. When we will use char and when we will use varchar, I will explain in a while. Okay. At that time, I will explain this thing also, fixed length and variable length. And next, we have date and time data type. In that, again, we have two more data types. One is date data type and date time data type. Okay. And basically, the format should be like this only. First, we need to use year, that is YYYY, and DD. Year, 4-digit year, then month, then date. In date time data type, along with this year, month, and date, we will also use hour, minutes, and seconds. Okay. Boolean data type in the sense true or false, and there are my binary and miscellaneous data types. Whenever we are storing some images or XML formats kind of thing, we will use this one. But you can ignore last two data types. Mostly we will use this first three data types only. Is it clear, guys, about the data types?
Yes, ma'am. Clear, ma'am. Thanks.
Great. All right. I hope everyone understood this. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. So basically,
From when regular sessions will be, the classes will be starting, Divya? Tomorrow?
Regular sessions. Today is Tuesday,
Because
right?
Yes,
Yeah, from Thursday.
from Thursday. Okay.
Of course, this
And
is
if
also
those,
regular classes actually.
okay.
Yeah, because
If
whenever we are starting learning SQL, we need to start from scratch, right? So that's the reason. I guess I already started from today. I started regular classes, but from Thursday, then link will be changed. From by tomorrow, our demo classes will be finished. From Thursday, our new link will be changed. Whoever students got registered for them, they will provide the new link.
Okay, Divya. If possible, can you please explain the role of data analyst, data engineer, data scientist by tomorrow? Because
Sure, no problem. On Thursday or Friday, I will explain you clearly. Okay.
okay. And the content you will be sharing of
Yes. It's already 8, right? If let's stop creating the table for now. Let's continue this tomorrow. Now I will show you the index and again, if somebody are joined today newly, right? For them, let me tell you here in this course, I will teach everything very practically, each and every concept, each and every topic. I will explain practically only, that too by using real-time database. I will use Netflix database in this course because mostly in most of the institutes, what they will do, they will just teach the concepts, they will just give the syntaxes. But here we won't do like that, and we won't explain each and every concept by using this basic table, basic data like employees details or department tables like that. I will use Netflix database here, and depending on that, that's my duty, Shushovan, if I'm spelling it correct. If I'm pronouncing your name correct, that's my duty. Once you finished this course, you will become pro in MySQL. I can assure you that, no worries. Because if you are planning to enter into the data analyst role, the first round, even if it is an MNC company also, the first round will be on SQL only. If you clear the first round only, this in the second round, they will check your knowledge on any visualization tool. If you know Python, then they will ask Python questions also in second round. If you know Python, or else SQL and Tableau or Power BI is enough. But first round will be SQL. If you clear that, what I wanted to say is, if you have 100% knowledge on Tableau and if you have 50% knowledge on SQL, that's of no use, because you need to clear the first round SQL. Then only they will check your Tableau or Power BI knowledge. And yes, Satish, you will get the recording once the demo classes are finished. Once everyone got registered, maybe from Thursday we will start our regular classes. The demo classes will be finished by tomorrow. From Thursday, you will get a new link, and from that day, you will get the recording. From the yesterday's class itself, you will get all the recordings. And for once we're done with each and every topic, first of all, let me open the course content. Give me a second, guys.
Ma'am, duration will be of the 40 days
Yeah, 40 days, right?
and only 1 hour class.
Correct.
Saturday, Sunday off or only Sunday off?
Sunday is off. Saturday depends. It's on students' choice.
Okay, fine.
And if required, for the last 1 week or 2 weeks, if required, I will take Saturdays also. It depends. We can decide it on Friday, on every Friday.
And the
Madam,
recording.
interview questions also you are sending the interview.
Sorry?
Interview questions.
I'm sorry, I didn't got your question. Can you repeat?
Yeah, I am asking interview questions. Interview question. Yeah, how
Interview
to ask.
questions at the end. I will explain you. Once first in the 40 days, I will in the 40 days I will teach you the complete course. Once we finish the complete course, we will discuss some important interview questions. Okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yeah.
post these sessions, if we have any queries, we need to ask only in the class or like WhatsApp group or anything will be there.
If you have any doubts, you can ask in class. But if you needed any WhatsApp group, you can once, if at all the students needed the WhatsApp group, you can ask with Durga Soft team. They will give you the answer. I don't know about this.
Okay. Thank you.
You can plan a WhatsApp group also so that we can discuss all the doubts. Once just talk with them, ask their team. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Where is the course content?
Then by studying this course, the complete MySQL will be complete, na? The content.
Yes.
will be
Yes.
left
Yes.
after this. Okay.
1 second. I'm just opening my content. I don't know where it is. 1 second, guys. All right, I got it. You can see my screen, right? This is the content of SQL. Okay. Starting with the introduction to the databases and SQL, creation of databases and tables, data types. These are all common, common commands like insert, update, delete, drop, everything. Once we finish all the SQL commands, like we have few SQL commands like DQL, DCL, DML kind of things, right? I will finish all that first. Once we finish the SQL commands, I will give you this movies database. I will provide Netflix database for you. I will show you how to download and how to use that database in your laptops. Okay. This will be done once our regular classes will start. Once the demos will be finished, I will show you the Netflix database for you. And I will explain in that because the reason why I'm explaining this database in the sense in real time, we will deal with big data, right? If we learn in the learning process only, if we deal with the big data, it will be easier for us to understand. And if you have any career gaps also, you can manage the things easily when you get into the real-time job, right? So here, intro to movies database explanation and connecting movies database to MySQL. There will be many tables in it. I will give you the overview of the tables. I will explain you the data inside it, and I will show you how we will connect that database to the MySQL. Okay. Once that is done, we will learn about some operators like range and membership operators, distinct limit clause. There are some wildcards. Those concepts we will finish. Then we will start functions concept. Basically, for in any SQL, I believe with my experience, I can say joins is the most important concept. After joins, subqueries and functions. These three concepts are very, very important. If you are planning to start your career in data science, along with the joins, the second importance will be go to the regular expressions concept. Okay. Joins, regular expressions, then functions, and then subqueries will come. Important topics list. Okay, if it is if you're planning for a data analyst, data engineer, or data science role. Okay, so here we will start functions. Each and every functions we will discuss detail. String functions, in the sense we have many string functions like right, left, lower, upper, like that. In numeric functions, in the sense we have aggregate functions, we have many other functions in numeric. Temporal functions, date functions. We will cover all the functions first, then we will start learning joins concept. Joins is the most important concept in SQL, whether you choose any domain. In your interview, mostly 60% to 70% of the questions they will ask you on joins only. So we will learn very clearly about each and every join with the real-time database. Okay. Next, as I said, regular expressions is the most important concept especially for data analysts. Okay, we will cover that topic, and then this group by clause, having clause, aggregation functions, and how we will create groups. Everything we will cover. Once we're done with this portion, almost I believe 60% of the important questions will be finished. Once it is done, we will learn subqueries. There are two types of subqueries, correlated and non-correlated. We will learn each and every concept here we will solve many example queries. We will solve many examples. We will solve everything by using real-time, that movies database only. And then we will cover normalization concept. We have this many normal forms. We will see that. We will learn about ER diagrams, denormalization concept. Next, conditional logic. Okay, then comes with CTE, that is common table expressions. Again, for data analysts, this is more important. And again, I think, if I'm not wrong, for full stack developers also, CTEs will be important one. CTEs and recursive CTEs will be covered here. And then we will learn views, temporary tables, indexing, stored procedures, and triggers. Till here, we will cover all the concepts. Okay. This is our course content. These are all the topics which we are going to cover. Once we've done this, all these concepts, we will discuss. If you have any doubts, we will take 1 or 2 classes on clearing. I mean, of course, daily also, if you have any doubts, we will work on it. Again, we will specifically take 1 or 2 days. If you have any doubts, or if you want me to revise any concepts, we can take 2 days for that. And after that, in 1 or 2 days, we will discuss the important interview questions on SQL. Okay. This is our plan. And yeah, any questions, guys?
Ma'am, what's the difference between MySQL and Oracle SQL?
Nothing. SQL is basically the language which we will use to deal with the databases. Okay, and remaining things, this what we call SQL. MySQL, SQL Server. These are all the just products only. Everything is same. Please watch yesterday's demo video. I explained it very clearly.
Okay.
We will learn only SQL subject, MySQL, and SQL Server. 1 second. Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. So yeah, MySQL, Oracle SQL, SQL Server, MongoDB, those all are tools, different tools maintained by different companies. SQL Server is from Microsoft, Oracle SQL and MySQL is from Oracle. Like that. Okay. But the subject is all about SQL only. There will be slight changes by using the tools. That's it. Just watch yesterday's video. Whoever didn't attend yesterday, you can understand. Okay. And as I'm saying about Netflix database, right? You can see here there is one database called as Maven Movies. And if you see the tables, these are all the tables we are going to learn in our course. There are many tables, there are many views. We will learn everything detailing. Okay. And guys, if you have any doubt, if you don't have any doubts, I will end this session because 8 o'clock I have Tableau class and students are waiting for me, it seems. Is that okay for you? Let's meet tomorrow. Okay.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's meet tomorrow.